I feel like there are two kinds of people in this world.
Oh, boy.
And I want to know which of them you are. You were driving your car.
Okay.
You're driving.
Okay.
And your check engine light comes on. Are you ignoring your check engine light, or are you being like, dang, now I have to call and get my car into the shop?
I'm a third person who calls my dad and goes, Dad, my check engine light comes on. Should I call? And he says, yes. So I do a more roundabout way of getting there. What's funny is right now my check tire light has been on, and I know it's because it's cold outside, but I'm just letting it ride.
Yeah.
I even put air in them, and it's still like, I put air in the front too. So it must be in the back one. Anyway, they all look fine. Nothing is noticeably flat. So I'm just like, I think it's just because
Did
it's
your car
cold.
not tell you which of your tires is low?
Oh my God, no. And my husband was very annoyed that it didn't do that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I agree.
My car, which is a 2014 question mark.
Okay. Like,
Brag.
I'm like, okay.
I'm just surprised. I'm surprised.
Well, then what are you? Are you an instant?
Oh, that's not my business. The check engine light? That's not my business. Now,
I may be driving it. I may own the car.
It's not my business.
It's not my business.
It depends. It depends. Okay, so if I'm like going to get my oil changed or whatever, I'll be like, hey,
And they're like, what was that?
you heard me.
I have done that where I'm like, they're like, oh, you're here for an oil change? I'm like, yeah. Oh, yeah. And like my check tire light just came
Yeah,
on.
it's
It's been on
wild.
for months.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Tell me the thing.
This is a weird thing I'm about to say. I feel very in tune with my car. I know when she's serious and when she's not.
We've known each other for a long time.
We have.
We know each other's moods.
We've known each other for 10 years. We are in sync, her and I.
I think this is how the Stephen King novel Christine gets started. Honestly, he's also very in tune with his car, and then he falls in love with his car.
I'm not in love with my car.
And then that car.
Listen, we're in tune, but I trade her in tomorrow.
Spoiler alert! That car straight up murders people.
Well, I can't speak to where my car's whereabouts. So.
I feel like you could because you're so in tune.
I plead the fifth.
You don't have to cover for her.
This is the problem. I'm going to tell you the problem.
Now what's the problem?
So right now, my husband and I just have one car.
Yeah, and he and the car are not in.
They're not. No, they are not. They aren't. They aren't. They have not known each other for 10 years. Because
this car is driving a wedge in your marriage.
It is. It's not, but it could be because I swear to you, almost every time that Brandon drives the car,
Yeah.
I get back in the car and the check engine light is on. And I'm like, what are you doing?
What are you doing to her?
Yeah. And that's why I say it's not that deep, because then the check engine light comes on, I drive it to work or wherever I'm going, I get out, I go back, and when I drive again, it is off. And I go, well,
Fixed itself.
yeah, it's just this is not how we drive.
I think your car, maybe now I'm starting to understand. Yeah. Maybe I'm starting to see that you and your car. Because your car is trying to warn you. But
Yeah, they're like, don't let this man drive us, please.
oh my God. Do you have a name for your car?
I don't.
Okay, me neither. I know people who still do that, but I do not.
I don't know
my
why I
God.
gendered my car all of a sudden either. I don't think of my car that
She
way.
is a.
She
She is.
She is.
She is who she is.
She is the moment.
She. She is so special. She is
is.
so dear to you.
Yeah, she is. I mean,
she
I've had
is
her,
telling you things.
I literally have had her for 10 years. So like we do get
She's seen
other.
you've watched each other grow up.
We have.
So crazy.
But truly, I if my check engine light is on for longer than 2 days, then I'm like,
Maybe I should
Yeah.
check that engine.
maybe I should check that.
And by that I mean take it to someone to check the engine. I'm
me.
not doing this.
I cannot call my dad. My dad did not know that you could change your own windshield wipers.
Oh, that's right. I remember that.
Yeah. So no, I'm not calling my dad for that. That's not his business either. So
Although I am the person like the instant my my windshield wiper fluid is low,
you take it in.
or I ask my husband to
Yeah.
refill it. I don't know what this is about me. I like to know how long I've been in the car and how long it took me to, like, my car will tell you like how long like your trip is. Like
Oh yeah.
I like to see like how fast I get from my house to daycare some days.
Oh my god.
Because I'm like, God, it feels like I was really fast today.
Oh,
like
that's interesting.
Yeah. So
My car doesn't do that. I'd have to manually like trip.
or you'd have to get like a stopwatch in your.
Can you
I'm
imagine?
picturing you one like around, like a gym teacher
Yeah.
one like around your neck and being like, and go.
I have to bring it back my Apple Watch. Yeah. I don't know, man. I just know that it's
So
not,
what have we learned today? That Emma.
we are one.
Simpatico.
Also, I feel like if you look at
And
that
if
car,
you see her talking to her car, please call someone. Not me, because I don't want to get involved. But
oh my god, yeah, I don't know. But it is. I kid you not. 8 out of 10 times that Brandon drives the car, the check engine light.
I want to hear
on.
his
his
side of this.
because for a while I just didn't say anything because I was like, don't be that person. Don't be like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you
What are you doing?
What are you doing? But then finally I was like, what are you doing?
Okay, if you're both driving, does one of you always drive?
Me.
Like if you're okay,
Me.
yeah, that's that.
Me.
And I was like, okay, have you ever watched him drive your car?
Yes,
And like, what does he
and
do?
I hate it. Thanks, I hate it. No, I don't like it when Brandon drives. I drive.
Does he move your seat every time?
Catherine?
No, I know.
Katherine?
Does he sit close?
Catherine?
Why do men sit so close? Sam does too. I have to scoop my chair
Listen.
back if he drives my car.
Listen, I
We're like the same height. So I'm like, why are you so close?
Brandon, okay. Brandon moves the seat. We're gonna talk about this after because I have more things to talk about, but but yes, Brandon does move the seat. He lifts the seat as high as it will go. Brandon is taller than we're both not tall, but he is taller than I am.
He wants to feel
Yeah.
yeah.
And then yes, moves it forward. And I had to be like, because he drives less than I do. Again,
Yeah.
if the two of us are in the car, I am driving most of the time, and I have for our entire relationship. He does not love to drive. He doesn't like to drive.
Yeah.
And I don't mind driving. And
Right.
he drives like he's 95 years old.
Correct.
And I
actually knew that about him.
simply cannot stand it.
Yeah.
I simply cannot stand it. Like
This
we'll be
will
going
not stand.
We will be going up Sorensen and he'll be in the left lane going 35 and I'm like in the passenger seat. Like if I was behind you, I would be
Furious.
so upset with you.
Furious.
And he's just like
Having a day. Yeah.
Even his mom makes fun of him.
Oh dear. Yeah, and that's bad.
Yeah. So he does move the seat. It's contentious. Yeah, I don't know what he's doing. But he has admitted that it is he must be doing something that the check engine light does consistently come on.
That your car, it's a cry for help.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, I really didn't want to turn and agree with you. But I'm starting to worry.
Yeah. You know what? Today we're talking with Joe Baker, who's in auto collision, and I should have asked him about that. Be like, does my car know who's driving my car?
He probably would have. He does specify in our interview that
Yes.
you're about to watch that he's not a mental health
He'd be like, we have some
professional.
services that might be able to help you.
Yeah, he'd be like, they're really for students, but it sounds like,
You need it.
yeah. I'm just going to
I'll put
refer
it-
you.
Let me put that on the list to talk to my therapist about.
My Carly gets me more
Yeah.
than anyone. Oh, boy. Oh, brother.
Yeah, so that's all I have to say about that.
That's all I got. That's all I got. I've learned a lot. Too much.
Yes, I think we should just get on with the program.
Yeah.
We need
the
to move
auto
on.
collision program.
We need to move on from this. I've shared too much.
You have.
Today on the podcast, we have Joe Baker, who is an auto collision technology instructor at the college. Welcome, Joe.
Thank you for having me.
Just let's get started with just tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you come to the college? What's your background?
What's your lore?
All right, well, here we go. So I am an MCC alumni.
We love.
We
You started as a student here. So
And then you just never leave.
that's right. They
Yeah.
suck you in and you're stuck.
But we mean that in a good
Yes.
way.
Yeah, 100%. So.
Nobody's trapped here against
Yeah.
their will.
No. You'll hear that in the story. So I grew up in South Omaha, and my family, growing up, always were blue collar workers, and we really didn't have the resources to attend college financially, and that was one thing that was always on my mind when I was in high school. And so I graduated from Ralston High School, and at the time, a lot of my friends were going to UNK, UNL, UNO, and I did my job of completing all those scholarship applications. And one of those applications that I completed was the Board of Governors application.
Oh.
And so when all the scholarships started coming in, and a lot of my friends were talking about where they were headed, I was actually thinking about a degree in music.
Oh.
Because when I was in high school, I kept pretty busy, and I was in the auto club at Ralston. So we had a little race car that we built, and I got to drive.
Oh, that's fun.
But then also I had my chance to do a little bit of football, and then believe it or not, swing choir or show choir, theater. So when I say I'm well-rounded, I'm not just talking about my physical appearance.
Oh, stop. Okay.
What shows were you in? Tell us everything.
First of all, what an early
Yes.
reveal in this podcast. Usually we have to warm people up a couple minutes to even get that far. But wow.
I love this.
I love it.
We had a lot of different shows. The last one that I enjoyed probably the most was Les Mis. So
Whoa!
at the time,
Wow! What a show.
Were you Jean Valjean?
no,
Oh,
no,
my
God.
God.
I swear,
I tried out for it though.
if you had revealed the top of the show, this would have been derailed.
Yeah, we would never get to what we actually needed to talk about.
Oh, my God. Oh, woo. Okay.
You know,
Wow.
and it all started honestly with an elective in high school.
Yeah.
Sure.
And it helped me out a lot, I think, with communication.
Yes.
And honestly, it helped me out in the teaching field too.
Yeah, I was going to say, being in
So-
front of like a room of people.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Yeah.
Wow.
But in high school, I had lots of teachers and coaches that didn't necessarily get along on two different spectrums. But it was easy for me to talk to both and enjoy both as well. So back to it then with MCC.
So wild.
I applied for that Board of Governors scholarship. I did not receive anything for UNO, UNL, UNK, and that's where a lot of my friends were headed. So
Sure.
I'll be honest with you, a little bit. I was bummed a little bit. I
Sure.
thought maybe 4-year was for me, and if
Yeah.
I could do it with the scholarship, I wanted to.
Yeah.
But realistically, financially, it just wasn't in play. I received that Board of Governors scholarship to MCC, and I knew I wanted to do something and start somewhere.
Yeah.
And at the time, growing up, my dad was a mechanic, and I had an uncle that was a painter at a local dealership. And what I remembered as a kid is that they always had nice cars, they had a nice house, and I really respected him. I thought, you know what, I might give that a try. My dad's got the mechanical ability, and I've learned a lot from him. So why not do the body and paint and the collision side? So I went ahead and enrolled at MCC, right after I graduated high school in the auto collision department where I now teach. And so I graduated. I started off with Pat McKibben as an instructor, and it was one of his first years teaching.
Oh my
Shout out to
gosh.
Pat.
Yeah, definitely. 20 years ago. So that's how it all started. And I graduated from MCC, went out, joined the industry. I worked at a local car dealership in the body shop. From there, I ended up going to work for Farmers Insurance as an insurance adjuster.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Sure.
that's the sweet thing about our career field is there's so many different avenues you can
Yeah.
I guess it's like once you
Duh.
think about it, it's like, yeah, that
Yeah,
makes
because
sense.
they can spot damage at a
Yeah.
car quickly. Yep.
Yeah.
And probably estimate what it's going to be.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely. And it was an enjoyable career. I had a chance to to go out to a lot of different body shops, meet a lot of people, technicians, students. That was also really cool.
Yeah.
Because at that time, while I was at Farmers, I started as an adjunct for the college. So that was back in 2009. I started teaching part-time classes at night.
So did somebody approach you, or did you reach out to the college?
Yeah, I was actually approached. Pat reached out and he said, "Hey, here's the deal. We need a little bit of help with our estimating classes at night." And he put in the good word with Bill Owen at that time and Randy.
Sure.
Shout out, Bill.
And so I went and did a series of different interviews and got that job to teach the estimating class at night. So that's where it all started. And then throughout that career with Farmers, the best part was going to like local shops and looking at customers' cars and then seeing some of my current and former students there. And
Yeah.
that's what got me hooked in teaching was seeing their success, and I knew that that's something long term that I really wanted to do.
Oh,
So 2015, there was an opportunity to become full time, and I applied for it. At that time, Tom Price was retiring, and I went ahead and applied and got the job. And yeah, here we are 10 years later. It's been good.
Wow. So from your time as a student to now, that the auto
field.
field, well,
Yeah.
not even field, but just like auto at MCC has changed significantly.
Immensely. Yes.
Immensely. Because did you used to be at ATC?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So that, like, because now you guys are all in one campus, because auto collision and auto body used to be like on two different places.
Correct.
And now you're all in this giant, very cool home
Yes.
on South Omaha campus. So even just from physically, you guys are in a very different space from where you were when you first came here as a student.
Yeah, definitely. When I was a student, I actually I took classes just really the building next door over here where the maintenance and facilities is at.
Oh,
That was actually the old auto collision building. So it was a standalone building when I took classes here at the Fort campus. And then when we moved to the ATC, I started teaching at that point. It was about the first year we were there.
oh my gosh.
Okay.
Wow. That's crazy.
It's like when I found out culinary used to teach in 10.
Yes.
I can't picture it as anything else but a facilities building or as like old or even old 10 when I got here. So, wow. Okay.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So it's definitely South Omaha felt like home being combined with the automotive program in
Yeah.
that building. And that all happened in 2022, moving in with the automotive folks. And there's a big wall in between us, but there's a lot of different programs that happen in that one building.
Oh,
my
yeah.
gosh. I mean, if you have not been to that building, go and
Go.
look at it.
Yeah.
You can walk in. There's a beautiful catwalk. You can see all the things that are happening. It's crazy.
It
Every
is.
time I'm in there, I'm just like, wow. I don't know anything about what you guys are doing, but
Yeah.
I am.
I'm glad
enthralled.
you guys do because I don't know anything about cars. So.
You know what's funny is every time I bring somebody there, and I also have the same feeling, but they're like, now, would they work on my car?
Yeah.
I knew
Yeah.
that would come up.
Now, how do I get my car in here? It's like, they don't, but
Wait, correct me if I'm wrong. That used to sort of be a thing.
It did.
Okay.
Uh-huh,
Yeah.
yes.
So,
And I don't think anyone's ever thought it went away.
oh, I believe that too. Yeah.
I'm sure you guys had to like quietly roll that back. You can't be like,
Because the wait
Out-
list
yeah.
probably got crazy.
Boy, yeah, and it's what it changed was when our program became accredited and we really started focusing on career-driven jobs that are out there. Our advisory boards were really the ones pushing that. They said, "Hey, we want to make sure that students are working on late model vehicles and they are prepared to come enter the workforce with us." And so what we did is we created partnerships with like Toyota North America, where now we have the opportunity to fix some of these vehicles that are damaged in transport or derailments off of the train. So
oh my
it's-
God.
Yeah. So when you see
Terrifying.
wow.
when you see that on the news where a car's getting transported on rail and the train car falls off the tracks, those cars typically are not, they're not sold units anymore. And rather than just crush those, Toyota's actually partnered with us to repair a lot of those vehicles.
Wow.
And what happens is we get to fix these brand new cars with our students. Toyota helps us out with taking care of the parts prices. And then we give the vehicles back to Toyota. They've owned them the entire time. And they're used at different training centers across the U.S.
That's cool. That was then my question. I'm like, well, then what do they do with them?
Yes.
Okay.
So they never technically hit the road again, but they're used in mechanical training programs called the Toyota T10 model.
Okay.
And they go everywhere from our campus to St. Louis to some of these other facilities that offer that program.
That's very cool.
Yeah. And we have more than just Toyota there, right?
We do, yeah. So when you're talking about the Automotive Training Center, we've actually got the Toyota program. We've got Mopar in the building as well as an OE. And then we have our general mechanical program, obviously, that exists there. And on the other side of the wall with collision repair, we have our collision repair program. And then we have a program that I specifically get to teach called collision engineering as well. And that is a cohort model, just like T10 and just like Mopar, where students are actually employed while they go to school.
Very cool.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I guess in my mind, a reason to not work on other people's cars is like liability and all of those things. But really just like, I mean, obviously also that, but baseline's like, we just want to make sure that they are working on newer cars and not just, your clunker.
Well,
Respectfully, as I also have one. But yeah, it's like, you need to make sure that you can fix new cars, not just, because and cars are changing so fast.
Yeah, definitely. And
Yeah.
it's a big deal is safety. So when we start talking about a car today, you talk about all these extra components on it. We call them ADAS components, and all these systems, cameras, LiDAR, radar, that help protect you, the occupant. Even a camera now has to be on a vehicle when it's manufactured. So a lot of these different things that are on these rolling computers have to get calibrated and scanned after an accident or during. So it's really changed the game in collision repair. And one thing we've always prided all of ourselves on in that automotive training center is delivering relevant training and talking about how we fix cars correctly and safely. So it's a big deal, especially with a lot of these new cars, and it's changed our curriculum immensely too.
Oh,
So,
yeah. Well, I guess I just am like, again, the more you talk about it, it's like, of course. When I think of like auto collision, I'm thinking of like the dents in all of those things. It's like, oh, there's so many sensors now and everything.
Yeah.
That's like, so it's like, 30 years ago, you wouldn't have had to worry about whether that sensor was working after you fixed whatever. You just like fix the bumper, you undent the thing, and you just
Or like
send
even
it on your way. And now you're like, oh no, there's a whole electrical piece now that I have to worry about.
Like even your windshield, like it used to be like, oh, you got a crack in it, like they would replace it. But now it's like, well, now there's a camera behind it. And like if you crack your windshield, we're gonna have to recalibrate it. It's a whole song and dance. So I'm like, if you had told you that probably in 2015, it's like, okay.
Yeah,
But
that $300 windshield's now a $2,500 windshield.
yeah, see, that's not fun. But
No,
like,
no, it's not.
But I love it, but I don't want to fix it.
Yeah, that's it's definitely a topic that comes up all the time, and we have to honestly update our curriculum yearly in order to change with these vehicles.
I was gonna say it probably makes you guys stay on top of it. I mean, purely because you have to, but also like probably at a rate that you didn't even think you'd have to worry about.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's why with the ASE accreditation in our building, there's continued education that comes with that. So all of our instructors have 20 hours of that we do every single year. And yeah, it's always evolving and changing. The perception of auto collision is different, and a lot of people, like you said, think about fixing dents and painting things and making it look pretty again. That's definitely part of it. That's a part that all of us enjoy is making it look good again.
Yeah.
But then we don't think about even structurally on a car. There are like 10 to 12 different types of metals on a car for a reason now.
Sure.
The OEMs, when they build a car, they want to obviously get the best fuel economy out of that vehicle, and there's a mandate of what they need to get. So cars aren't giant boats anymore; they're small cars, right?
Yeah.
And the metal's lighter, but it's stronger. So then we can and can't weld certain things. There's different types of processes that we do, and it would scare you to know this, but a lot of cars now are riveted and glued together with structural glue.
Oh.
And that's sometimes the way they come from the factory because of the different types of metals that are combined in each other.
Wow. The more you know.
Right. I'm sure it's all safe to be glued together.
I mean, that's the big thing that we teach, our OEM procedures and making sure that we have that documentation. And to be honest with you, the world we're in today, you can hop on YouTube and how do I fix a dent? And you may be able to make it look decent, but making it right and safe is something different. And that's really what we pride ourselves on teaching.
Only because you brought up like watching stuff on YouTube. Okay, in 2020 when we all had to go virtual, I remember hearing how you guys had to basically teach how to like take out a dent over Zoom.
Yeah, that was in all the trades programs. That was a rough time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, when we had to teach on Zoom, we try to knock out everything that we typically would in a classroom setting.
Yeah.
But then it got to be really tough.
Like where you're like, no, we have come to the point we do have to teach like this part of it.
Well,
yeah.
and it's different because when you start to think about how to everything from properly sanding on a car to how to pull on something, how to refinish something, we had to improvise, and a lot of that was we had scheduled times when we would come into MCC to check out materials. And I was literally in my garage making videos on how to repair a quarter panel on my personal car. And then I would edit that video. I try to pretend I was somebody like Nate.
Oh my God.
And it was terrible, but we got through it. And then finally we were able to social distance, if you remember.
Yes,
Yes. Oh,
yes,
yeah.
of course.
And so we did the lines, the 6 feet, and we got through it. So it was tough. I feel bad for those students that had to go through that in the beginning.
Yeah.
That's tough.
But honestly, we probably bonded more than any other group getting through all of that. So
Yeah. So what kind of experience do most of the students have coming into are they pretty fresh and green and have never worked on cars, or do you have a lot of students who have worked on cars before and are
Like hobbyist type people that then want to turn it into it, or is it like you, where it kind of is in their family, or is it everything?
yeah. It is everything. I mean, we are very, very diverse, and what MCC has done in our program is we have tried to set up different tracks based on what a student prefers and what they want. So we have our traditional program at night where it's kind of like a la carte. You can come in and if you want to learn to paint something, you can honestly just take the refinishing courses. And as long as you've met those prereqs, you may be done when you're finished up with those. I mean, that truly is the beauty of community college. Right?
Yeah.
So we've got that track for those students that are wanting to come in and maybe be a hobbyist. But then we've got other tracks as well, like the collision engineering program that I teach, where you honestly have to work in the industry while you go to school and you rotate back and forth. So a lot of the students in that program are fairly green or they're typically right out of high school and they're just getting started in their careers. And then also on top of all of that, we have our wonderful career academies as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really fun. So you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I know for a lot of especially our trades programs, a lot of students don't end up finishing their quote unquote degree because the demand is so high that people are just like, we will just hire you.
Yeah, we're
Yes.
ready to
Yeah,
take you
yeah.
on now. Yeah.
Yeah, you are 100% right. And that's pretty much everything in the trades is the industry needs employees and needs technicians like no other. So if we can offer those entry-level skills, it's very easy for them to get snagged and to go to work and start making really good money and not finish that degree. So we see that a lot in maybe the Career Academy where we offer those entry-level skills and then they graduate from high school. And, 2 years later, I see them at a shop and I'm like, hey, you're going to come back and finish your degree? And a lot of them say, I want to. I just, I got bills. I'm getting it done. But another thing that we talk about is that's why we offer these certificates, right? The entry-level certificate with the auto collision or the estimating certificate. So we can show these students, hey, if you take these 5 or 6 classes, these are going to get you those skills. That's going to help you start making money. And if that's it, that's what you need. That's why we exist. But if you want to come back and get that accredited associate's degree, we really want to see you come back.
Yeah. It's interesting, and we talk about this a lot when we talk to people from the trades. It's like there are so many people, well, we were talking about this before we started, but people in the auto industry, in other trades, are getting older, and there's not a lot of people coming behind them to replace them. So it's like, I'm not surprised that the industry is just picking them.
It's like, come on.
They're
Yeah,
like,
we're ready.
We
Yeah.
need you. We
Yeah.
need you now.
Yeah, and that's why you'll see in a lot of the trades programs, just like ours, we have an advisory board meeting later on, just when we're finished up with this podcast. But we'll have over 30, probably 40 industry, shop owners and managers at our advisory board meetings because they are all hungry to hire our students. And that's the best thing about working at MCC is the college listens to our local community and they listen to those shops and those dealers that are here in this area. And so if I've got someone that says, hey, hey, Joe, we have, 5 different locations. We consistently teach on this piece of equipment. That's something that we can bring to our administration and say, hey, we really need to start training on this type of equipment because this is what's used in our local industry. And we are very fortunate that our college listens to that and really supports the program.
Yeah. I was just going to say, the advisory councils are so cool to me.
Yes, not even just the auto one. Like, I mean, that one is too, but just that, like you said, our college does a really good job of listening to the community in pretty much every aspect of like what they are looking for, what they need, and then adapting to that to make sure our students are like as ready as they can be.
Yeah, definitely. And that was part of it. Even when I started as a student, I noticed that a lot of the equipment and stuff that we were using even back then was new. It was modern. And when I went to work at the shop, I knew how to use that. And a lot of the technicians that had been there for 20 plus years didn't.
Yeah.
So it gave me that edge, that competitive edge to say, hey, I can do this too, even though I haven't finished graduating yet.
You were that young gun coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what though? What an awesome opportunity, because I talked earlier about a lot of my friends that went to 4-year universities and pursued degrees in fine arts and other things.
Yeah.
But the coolest part for me was when I got that job, and I actually took night classes at the same time. I worked during the day, took the night classes because I financially didn't have a choice.
Right.
But I was able to purchase my first home when I was 19 years old.
Wow.
And
Flex.
a lot of my friends, they either had dropped out or they didn't have jobs yet, or it wasn't in the career field that they really wanted.
Yep.
And it just felt awesome. So that's one of those things that I look back and see that, and I remember all those memories going back. The college did me really well, and to be able to come back and teach and hope that I can instill that in a lot of the students. I mean, that's why I'm here. That's why a lot of the instructors are here, is seeing that student success. It just does something good for the soul, right? It's one of those jobs where you're like, wow, I really impacted someone. And when you have the chance to do it to, personally 26 students a year, it's rewarding.
Yeah.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yes. I mean, obviously we love teachers.
We
here.
do love teachers.
So what is there like a class you teach or a lesson that you do that is the most fun, where you can like see it's like something click with
The
your
light bulb
it's
moment,
like,
as my teacher
yes,
sister would say.
Yes, a light bulb moment.
Yeah.
There's a few of them actually, and so when we first get started, like I have an entry level class right now. When you first start going through everything and learning Canvas and learning all the LMSs and getting your passwords and all that good stuff, that can be a little wearing on the instructor and on the student.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so that first quarter, you're kind of like, all right, are we going to do this? How are things going?
We're just learning how to be a student.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I was joking about it in my class the other day. I had a student that asked, hey, can I bring my car in and do something? I said, we have to learn how to spell collision first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't, and he kind of looked at me
We are
sideways.
not there yet, man. Yeah.
But when we get there is usually about halfway through the program. And the coolest part about it is for those students that work in the industry while they go to school, I start to get phone calls and emails from their employers, and they literally are like, hey, when is Johnny coming back to school? Because I'm going to miss him. I'm like, oh, it's working. It's working because he is, he's contributing.
Valuable.
Yes, contributing to the company. And then sometimes I honestly have to remind those employers, like, let's get through this. I want to see him finish out and get his degree. And they usually do. We have great partners that make that happen. So that click is honestly usually about halfway through our program. And then the fun really starts with them, where they can be very, very productive.
I love that.
I love that too.
So like what as students are starting to like finish this program or starting to go into their career, like what kind of advice would you give them?
The number one thing that I have to say lately that I give advice to is don't give up. It's way too easy to say, you know what, this was too stressful. I can go find something else to do where I can look at my short-term goals and make more money right now. And so I always tell my students, hey, do not give up. Don't let the hard days win. And another thing to think about is a long-term goal financially. We're really stuck right now in this world of me and where do I get now? And hey, they're going to pay me so and so much an hour more than the guy down the street that's $2 an hour less. I start to think about that with students, and I have to remind them that, hey, as a career path, let's look at long-term goals and what this can be.
Yeah, not instant gratification
Yeah.
always.
So that's probably the piece of advice that I give students right now. I mean, we're in a tough place, just everywhere. And
Yeah.
so that never give up attitude and not letting those hard days win is very important. It's you don't think about that when you're teaching in the trades. I always have to sometimes remind my students, I am here to teach you how to fix cars safely and in a I don't necessarily have a degree in mental health, but you find out at a community college.
Yeah.
You get to have those conversations, and you're sometimes the people that need to have it with the student as much as you maybe don't want to. because
Yeah.
They look at you as a friend and almost a parent sometimes.
Yeah, a mentor more than
100%.
anything. Yeah.
That's the word. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, you spend of course, our classes are small. You get to know these students. And sometimes, you're the only person they have to talk to about whatever is going on.
Or they're seeing you like
More than they see anybody else.
that they would usually talk to about things like that. And like, you've seen these kids, but these students grow too. And so they are so comfortable with you. They're willing to, be vulnerable.
Yeah, they definitely open up. Sometimes I
Yeah.
even have to remind them, like, hey, there's the best part about MCC is there are a lot of support services, and here's who you need to contact.
Yeah.
Yes. And we've talked about this too, but one of the things that I also really love about our instructors is most of them have worked in the field. So it's like, I'm not just talking to an instructor who kind of knows what it's like to be out in the world and work on cars or whatever. It's like, you have real life experience. You've done this. You talk to the people that are still doing it all the time. So it's like, it doesn't feel like you're coming from like an ivory tower of like, oh yes, I just teach this now. I don't really, whatever. It's like, no, I get it. I've been it. I've done it. And I want you to succeed.
100%. Yeah, showing those experiences that you've had with the students are really, really important. And as a young educator, when I first started, there were a lot of things I had to overcome with that, because a lot of times my students were, especially in the night program, they were older than I was.
Yeah.
And so they're like, who's this young whippersnapper going to tell
Again,
me?
this young gun coming in.
Yeah. So and going through that and talking to some of my mentors, and other instructors, I'm like, how do I get over this, And you get everything from you need to grow some facial hair to the best one was you just need to show them what you're doing.
Yeah.
So the first, couple days of class, go out and show them what you can do in the booth or out in the shop, and that's when you'll get that respect right away. So that was a part of being, a younger instructor, is learning that. And then growing up with the students, one thing that was tough was learning, I am your instructor, I'm your teacher. As much as I want to be a friend,
Right.
we've got to find that line.
Yeah.
And that's where you use that term mentor, and I really like that, because that's the way I kind of feel. And now teaching for honestly over 16 years, I've learned to find that line where I can still be very friendly and we can have those conversations, but then they still definitely respect me as an instructor.
Yeah. Some other interesting things about you, Joe. You were the board faculty ex officio at some point, weren't you?
Yeah, just
Recently.
Yeah.
Yes. I was like, that was not that long ago.
Yes.
Yeah. So Jeff Strawn, Boomer, had taken my place there.
Yes.
So, yeah, that was a fun time learning the inner workings of the college as an ex officio for the Board of Governors, and getting to know a lot of those administrators and honestly those local community leaders that really impact what MCC does.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed that a lot.
What made you want to do that? I'm not. I know that sounded almost judgy, but I'm just like, I always wonder, like what made you, how did you even find out really what that is, and what made you want to say, like, I want to do that?
That's a solid question.
Yeah.
So, how that all got started was, I always read the minutes from the Board of Governors, and I always thought it was interesting how well it was prepared and how well the meeting was ran. At the time, we were doing our own advisory board meetings and things like that too. So I wanted to kind of mimic that a little bit with our advisory board and get very formal. And so that was always, interesting. But then a big part of it too was, I am a big, support the trades person.
Yeah.
Especially with the need for technicians in industry. And that was honestly one of the things I wanted to do. Is I said, I want to apply to try to be an ex officio, so that I reinforced the need for all of these programs that are out there. And so that's really honestly why I applied. And after I was, I can't say nominated, but voted. And
Yes, I was about to say, people might not know that you are elected to that.
yeah, by all faculty.
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
So it was really fun to be part of that. And then the best part was sharing with the board some of those success stories within all of the programs and not just the trades programs. That was really interesting, bringing those guest speakers in. There were times that it was stressful. It's the board has a packet they've got to get through.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I can bring a speaker in and say, hey, we've got 2.5 minutes. Let's roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me meet with you beforehand and help you get through this. And then sometimes you know how it can be. You get somebody that just keeps going and going, and
Yeah.
it's good, but it's
Yeah.
like, oh,
But then
man.
somebody's like,
Joe,
like,
what are
we
you
gotta
doing
go.
to me?
Yeah.
So, but I enjoy the heck out of it, and now it's kind of neat to see Boomer go through that process too. So
Yeah. For those who don't know, what is an ex officio for our board?
So an ex officio is somebody that's representing the faculty at the Board of Governors meetings. Being an ex officio, I have the opportunity to get some questions that the faculty may want to see answered. One thing that is interesting about that position are a lot of the questions that do come as an ex officio are questions that can be answered outside of a board meeting.
Sure.
So
Yes.
helping guide where to actually ask the question was honestly part of that role that I didn't realize existed. And that was always beneficial for the other faculty. So it's the faculty representation at the board meetings. I was a non-voting member, but I got to sit there and represent the MCC faculty.
Yeah. I always love hearing the faculty ex officio report. And we also have a student.
I was about to say both of them.
So if you don't know,
fun.
we also have a student ex officio who does the same thing. They report on student happenings and all of those things, which I'm always in awe of those students. They get more comfortable, obviously. It's a year-long term, I guess, is what, if you want to call it that. But just watching, especially the students, but yeah, it's like when they start and they're so nervous to speak and you're facing all of the board. There's not a huge group, but there's a group of people behind you.
Right.
I'm
And
there.
They weren't
very
all
intimidating.
They weren't all
Yeah.
in Les Mis
Yeah.
in high school. So
Yeah, they didn't all have that experience. And you're right. The students are there for 1-year terms, and the faculty's there for 2-year terms. And I think that's great because as a new student's elected and shows up, they usually sit right next to the faculty ex officio.
Yeah.
And you kind of create that mentorship while you're there too.
Yeah. No, I love those.
I do too.
Yes. I go to most of the board meetings, so I get to listen.
Yeah.
Get to peek in.
Brag.
What a flex.
Yeah. They're open to the public. Anyone can
Yeah.
go.
That is right.
You don't need an invite. Please come. Another fun fact that we learned about you. I can't remember when
It was
we
the
learned-
wins.
It was the wins.
At the end of 2025.
Is that you wrote a book?
Yeah.
Cash. Casual.
That's a busy is a understatement for me.
No kidding.
I am very, very blessed to have a wife that puts up with me, to be honest with you.
Aren't all men?
Yeah. They could all be so lucky.
Yeah, and we've got an 11-year-old girl at home named Camber, and she also respects that I work hard for everything that we have and do. The book was a big surprise. I would have never thought that I'd have the opportunity to be a co-author on a textbook. And,
That's crazy.
That is just. Also, I just want to say, when we were first told that you wrote a book, I was picturing like a novel. I don't know why. I was like,
Oh, wow.
I was like, wait, so you're telling me Joe? I don't know why. It's like he wrote like a spy thriller.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then
You know
no,
what,
a
you should try-
textbook, and I'm like, oh, that makes more sense.
You should write a thriller next, but auto body
Yeah.
collision
Oh,
themed.
there's
Oh,
something.
Oh
there.
my God.
And they're like, there's a body here, and you're like, yeah, we're an auto body shop, and they're like, no, there's been a murder.
The next one can't necessarily be auto related. I've got a father-in-law that keeps me pretty busy, and I have a lot of stories there that maybe we'd have to share on a different podcast. But I would love to do something with him, and I've even talked about him personally with him. I'm like, the stories that we share and what we go through together, I'd love to share some of that. And a lot of my friends and
what a
family know
tease.
exactly what I'm talking
Oh my
about in some
God.
of those stories. So. That's the next thing after the book. I'll start working on that soon enough.
Oh my God! Please
Watch
we'll have
this
you. Yeah. We'll have you back.
We will, and him.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be great. But yeah, the textbook's been a fun opportunity to do. I've been working on that book for just about 3 years, believe it or not. So
I do
Wow.
believe it.
you talked about a novel, and that book is over 900 pages. So
Wow.
The really interesting and cool thing about the book was somebody reached out to me from Goodhart Wilcox, and they said, "Hey, we are looking for an active instructor and teacher in the industry, somebody that knows about these cars today." And we're having people apply to write a book, and my first conversation was, I don't know if I'm the guy because I don't feel very comfortable with everybody reading what I'm writing. No, we have editors that help you with all
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah.
So we're looking for the industry experience, and we're looking for the content.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's been a 3-year process of going through the textbook with a co-author. He had wrote the book for over 10 years prior to that.
Wow.
And it's officially been released January 1, and we're on the path. So
Wow. Now, do your students do they have to get your book?
they don't. Yeah.
Do you sign copies?
I was just gonna say, we should have a reading, maybe?
I have not attended a signing yet. So,
We'll plan one.
Yeah, I was like, watch the space.
in the world of collision repair and different types of text that's available, there's lots of it, and a lot of what we use can be a combination of various different things, including the book.
Right.
So currently we do utilize the Goodhart Wilcox 3rd edition book. Me being a co-author on the 4th book, we will eventually be able to utilize that book. Yes.
So is that something you're gonna point out to your students, or wait to be like, wait, is that you? Is this you, Joe Baker?
Yeah, I'm not going to point it out.
Okay.
I'll have fun with them actually, just looking at the name on the front cover and, so.
I remember in college, I took like a world religions class, and our teacher was like, I'm not going to be there on, whatever day, but you're going to watch like a film about, I don't even remember what it was about, Judaism, I think, or something like that. And then everybody's watching the film, and then he appeared in it.
Oh, really? Yeah.
And then he came back the next time, and he's like, I bet you thought I wasn't going to be here, but I still was. So I can
nice.
picture you doing that with the book.
Yeah, I haven't decided exactly how that's going to all play out. Is that a flex, or are they going to view that as, oh, here's another one of these guys?
Here's this. Or is your
know.
picture in it?
You will see me in a couple of different chapters pointing something out or showing different things. So yes, you'll
Oh
see
my
me in
God.
it.
I love it.
So they'll find you
or
eventually.
will your fellow instructors rat you out?
Yeah. I'll bet that.
Yeah.
sooner than later.
Yeah.
So even believe it or not, my 11-year-old daughter is even in the book. So,
Wow.
I do some stock car racing as a hobby, and there's a chapter there that talks
Sure.
about applying stickers and things like that. So she was helping me wrap my car, and it was back when she was like 6. And she had safety glasses on,
Cute.
and so when I got to use that little snippet and talk to my wife about it, she's like, I'm comfortable with it. So
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So when the book got delivered here in December, I opened it up and put it on the counter, and I had her picture on it, my daughter's picture, and she thought it was the coolest.
Oh,
yeah.
I bet.
ever.
I bet.
God.
At school, she's
Oh
like,
my-
I'm in a book.
Show-
Yeah.
Conveniently, show and tell was the next week.
Yeah.
So
I
here
love
she's
that.
hauling a textbook to class,
An auto collision textbook.
Hey, teacher, take a look at this.
And they're probably like, oh.
Oh, look at that. At page 385. Look at that one.
Yeah, earmarked. We got that number.
Oh, she's got it memorized.
I'm sure she does.
Oh, I'm sure. And
Oh
she
my
was
God.
like, my dad will sign this if you want.
Yeah. My parents and my grandma actually, I got them a copy and I signed that.
Cute.
Oh
you
my
have
God.
to.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have to.
My grandma reads a lot, and when I told her I was gonna explore this possibility, she's like, I hope it works out, and so she's always reading like murder mystery novels and romance novels and things like that, and then here I am. Here, Grandma, enjoy this textbook on auto collision.
This tome.
So I talked to her like a couple weeks ago, and she goes, "Actually, I'm reading it. I'm on page 650." Like, oh, don't do that to yourself.
Also, what I'm hearing is if you wrote a spy thriller novel, she'd be in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
my
Well,
God.
okay.
Yeah, she would. We'll see the timeline, see if I can get
She'd
that
be like,
done.
this plot doesn't make sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've read a lot of these.
Yeah, you need to tweak this a little bit.
Yeah.
I thought
She's a good editor.
I thought she might be a little judgy, but she hasn't said anything. I was even, in the introduction, I was talking about MCC and what it's done for me and a little bit of my past. And I'm like, Grandma's going to be judging me on this. I got to get this right.
No, she was probably like, oh, she's probably so proud.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine, telling yourself 20 years ago that you would have written
A published author.
No, definitely not. I mean, I think about that all the time. Even like, it's kind of weird. Like, you just going to, parent-teacher conferences with my daughter and seeing some of the other textbooks at the grade schools and all the textbooks at our bookstores and things like that. It was never anything that was in the plan, right? But when I talk about the college as a whole, being a student in this industry and then being actively instructing and doing that continued education, I've met a lot of really good contacts and people that care about instruction and cars being fixed the correct way. That a lot of those are all of those relationships are what helped make this happen. It was about I think it was 7-8 years ago. I was invited to go speak down in Florida at an event called the Inter-Industry Body Shop Symposium. And it was an invite-only thing where body shop owners that owned like multi-shop organizations, we call them MSOs, they were all invited. And then a lot of the CEOs from paint companies and car manufacturers attended this event. And at the time, I got to speak on the need for technicians and when it comes to working with colleges and community colleges, what you can do. And so on that panel, I got to discuss things like, how you engage with the colleges or with the students or the younger generation. And that's actually where I met Erin Brennan from Goodhart Wilcox. She approached me after that panel and said, hey, I want to reach out to you with an opportunity here. I think that industry knowledge, you have what we need, and what do you think about applying? So I think there were 5 or 6 people that applied to write that textbook there a few years ago, and I was very fortunate to be the one to be able to write it.
I love, and your story in particular is so indicative of what MCC does. It's like you're in high school, you're bummed that you did not get into UNO, UNK, UNL. It's like, God, now what I guess I'm going to go to Metro because they gave me the scholarship.
Yeah.
I guess that's fine.
Yeah.
It'll be okay. And then it's like, wow. And like, what an amazing career path, journey, like things that you never imagined yourself doing. It's like community colleges are not just like, it's again, sometimes it feels like your last choice, but it's like, it doesn't have to be. And like, it can be the best choice you make.
No, and that's like, I feel like sometimes I try to do my best that I can to be the best recruiter for MCC, because sharing a little bit of my past and what the college has done for me, I hope that can happen to a lot of people. And I do that. I share that with a lot of my students. And one thing, when you work in like a trades program like ours, you really have to get active in the community to get the right students in those seats. So we participate in lots of different things like car shows and World of Wheels and all these different things where, to be honest with you, we volunteer a lot of time to sit at those booths and pass out those cards and talk to students about our past and our history. And again, one of the best things about being an instructor is seeing those students' success later on in life. So I've been very blessed and fortunate with everything that MCC has done for me, and I look forward to that happening with some of the students too.
Yeah, I love it. We don't need to talk about it again, but it's like, we went to 4-year colleges when we were going to college. Yeah, going to community college was like not anybody's first choice. And like now it is becoming a lot of people's first choice, which I think is wonderful.
I love it.
Not every 4-year degrees are great. I have one. I love it, but not everybody needs one.
No, and MCC is a great starting spot for those too. We talk about all those gen ed courses that transfer and things like that, and I'm always talking about that with my friends and family and other people that I meet. So you can't beat it at all. I mean, if the associate's degree is your stop, great. There's a lot of jobs available then. But if we are truly your transfer program, we've got everything that you need.
Yeah, so true. Is there anything coming up in auto collision that you're like excited to like teach, or you have your eye on for future programming? And like, does AI affect auto collision at all? It affects everything. Does it affect auto collision?
Yeah, like an auto driving car.
Yeah, it doesn't stop. It affects everything. I mean,
those stress me out.
Yeah. Yes.
I was just at a conference, and there's a large collision shop that's not necessarily in Nebraska, but they actually have AI robots that'll deliver parts to the technicians in the stalls. So there's a parts process of a part specialist will pick up a part, type in the repair order number, and then they'll load it on a robot, similar like what you see in some of these restaurants.
Yeah, where it like delivers it.
And it has its track, and it goes and delivers the parts to the technician and drops it off. So that's a real thing. Another thing is when we fix cars, we do something called mirror matching on parts to make sure that we're putting the same parts back on the car that it came with. And so, just simple as taking a photo of a part and having it document both photos and saying, hey, this one's got two different, irregularities and why we're not going to use the part. So that's involved. But yeah, the big one that you're talking about is those autonomy vehicles that are out there and self-driving cars.
I went in one. I went in a Wise. Wise? What are they called? Waymo.
Waymo.
Yeah, the white ones with the camera on the top.
Yes, I was in San Francisco, and my brother-in-law was like, "Yeah, we can do one," and I was like, "I guess we can."
So, are you the one on the news that was just doing circles?
No,
Yeah, that was just stopped.
No. Oh my God,
nightmare.
But it was bizarre. And then I went back to San Francisco. Long story. Anyway, and I was on a tour guide, whatever, and he used to be a taxi driver, and the whole time he was like, just disparaging Waymo. He was like,
mouthing the
he's like, why yada.
Yes.
And I was like, I hear you. And again, it's like, I did it once. I don't need to continue. I arrived to my destination safely, but yeah, it was weird. It was so weird.
Well, we talked about all those sensors that are in those cars today, and there are a lot of cars on the road right now that could flip a switch and be autonomous, like the Tesla. And so all of those same sensors that are in the cars that you and I drive today are on those autonomous vehicles as well. And like LiDAR and radar systems and things like that, keeping an eye on everything around the vehicle to make sure it doesn't hit it. So yes, AI is definitely in the industry, and it's amazing where it's going. I don't know 100% if we nationally are ready for that. I think certain areas are.
I don't think so.
I've looked into it too, and a lot of like your stop signs or your traffic signals and things like that, they're not all the same in every state.
No.
So that's one of the reasons why it's only in specific states. Is it may be shaped different, maybe a different color or things like that, and that's why you're not seeing full autonomy everywhere nationally.
Yeah, I think we just need to get people to figure out a roundabout first before we start letting people have their own driverless car. Why don't you learn how to drive first? And then.
But then again, you're talking to somebody in the collision industry, right? So that's one thing I always talk about with my students is that, accidents are going to happen. And that's where, as technicians, we get paid to fix the car, and that's where we make our money.
Right.
But the biggest things we talk about is that obviously we don't want to see any injuries.
No, right. We want that very clear.
We want that tiny fender, like, I just pulled too far over that curb, and I pulled back out, and now I
backed into a light post.
We want those hailstorms, believe it or not. That hail damage that you are all dreading as a body technician.
Yeah, as someone who has to park outside, I don't feel the same.
I imagine.
Yeah, maybe keep that to yourself.
Yeah. But it's one of those scenarios that that's where those cars have to get fixed, and somebody's got to fix them.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for coming by today.
It was delight.
So fun talking to you. We'll expect a signed copy of your book sometime. And when you have that novel, come back and we'll discuss.
And now we're going to close with Joe singing a quick song.
Wow.
All right. Okay. Yes.
Oh, my God.
We can't pay for the rights to any real songs, so okay.
We'll save that for later.
Yes, thank you.
No, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks.
MCC Made with Emma Frazier and Katherine Rakes. Produced by Emma Frazier. Production support by Herdat.
Got a question for us? Email mccmade@mccneb.edu, and your question may be answered on a future podcast.